Welcome back, friends. Today we are going to do a alcohol wash Varroa mite check with our easy check, and basically an alcohol wash there. It kills the bees instantly. We're gonna have to lose 250 300 bees to find out what's going on, but that should be no problem since there's 20 30 40,000 in there. But mites are a big problem, especially up here in North Texas, and it is late July. We've already pulled our honey supers that we're going to extract off, and we took care of that earlier in the week. And now we're going to do a test, and then we're going to treat for our mites. So a lot of my friends, they just treat mites with Apivar, Apivar, whatever whatever they're going to use. But I'm kind of curious, so I kind of want to see what our mite load is. We have a couple colonies there that haven't done all that well, and we want to see if maybe mites are the problem. So let's get out here to the bee yard and get going with this. It's only about 10 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully all the foragers are gone, or most of them. It's only 91 degrees, I believe, and it's going to be 103 today. So we want to get out, get it done, be out of here. So let's go check it out. We're going to start with this hive here, and this one happens to be the double deep that has just been kind of dormant. It's got lots of bees in it, but it just hasn't had a whole lot of activity. Did not build out a super, didn't really do anything. So maybe it's a mite load, maybe it's something else. We might need a new queen, we won't know. What we're going to be using today, because this works really good in the summer here in North Texas, and we had triple digits last week, all this next week, and the week after that. So but we're going to use Apivar, and these are like strips. And so since they are chemicals, you're going to be handling them. Going to be using disposable gloves instead of my regular leather gloves. Hopefully I won't get stung too much. But what you do with these is you take 2 strips and they go in each brood box. So we've got a double here, so that's going to be 4 strips. So when you price this stuff out, it's not real cheap. You can buy it in a 4-pack. This is a 12-pack, I think, and then you can buy it even in larger quantity. And I didn't find any cheaper online than I did at the local bee supply. So just kind of shop around. The other one is Apivar. It's a little different type of product. It's more kind of a paste that sits in a tray. You put it on top of the frames, but you have to do it maybe come back and check every 5 to 7 days. So a little more labor intensive. What we're thinking about doing is we'll maybe use this in the early spring, and then we'll use this in the summer. Heat doesn't bother these. Matter of fact, I don't think it bothers either one of them, although this does tell you to store it at, I believe, 86 degrees or below, and we store these in the house. The other thing you want to look for is when you're buying this, first thing you want to do is check this manufacturer date. These things only have a shelf life of 2 years. So this one in particular, I went through the pile and they were all July of 2022. So it's already a year expired on these things. So this is something that we're going to have to use before next summer. You just put them in the hive, come back 42 days later, pull them. If you want to do another mite check, you can, a little more work, but that's okay. Most of the people I know around this area, they just put these in after they pull their honey supers for extraction, and that seems to take care of everything. But I'm a little more curious. I want to see what we got here. So we got our mite checker here, and it has a little basket in it that's going to hold the bees. And we used about a half a bottle of alcohol. This happens to be 70%. 90% is a little better. I think it kills them a little quicker. It's $1 more a bottle. But the other thing that we're going to do is when we're finished, we'll pull this basket out, and I'll show you this in a minute, and chunk the dead bees out, and then we're going to wash this right through, strain it through a coffee filter, and reuse it. So, and you can do that as long as the stuff's somewhat clear and you can see through. So some people use it, 10, 12 times. So we'll see how that goes. The way this is going to work is we're going to open up the brood box. We're going to pull out a frame with bees on it, and we're going to shake them into here. Got to make sure that the queen's not on there, because you're going to kill her. Just don't want to do that. Which is kind of scary for me because I do have some hives, and this one, the queen is not marked. And I'm a new beekeeper, and so I have to really look hard, but it's kind of scary for me. But this particular hive hadn't been doing well, so we might need to kill the queen, requeen it anyway. If we do happen to see the queen, I got my queen catcher here, and we're gonna take her out and mark her so it'll be easier for my old eyes to see next time. Once we get the bees in there, we're gonna got a little half cup measuring cup here. We're gonna scoop out a half a cup of bees, which is approximately 300 bees. We're gonna put them in our alcohol wash, and then we're gonna count the bees, or count the mites that fall down to the bottom. If we have any more than 6, that means 2 per 100, then you've got a problem you definitely want to treat. If it's less than that, we'll know, and then, you know, we're going to treat them anyway. So let me go ahead and get this box pulled apart, and let's shake some bees. All right, let's get these guys a little smoke, and let's see what we got. I usually have a shade on my hives about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's either I can go with 91, 92 degrees now and no shade and get it done, or I can wait till this afternoon and be in the shade and it'll be 102. So we're gonna go with the early. So let's see what we got here. Really look good, make sure we don't see the queen. Terrible brood pattern here. Terrible. Not as bad on this side, but not very good. Not any honey up here around at all. I don't see the queen. These all look like smaller nurse bees, which is what we want. Shake them down into our box. I think we're gonna need another frame. Man, this one's stuck down to the bottom. Okay. Foragers will fly out of the tub and nurse bees will stay in. I don't see the queen. I think this hive is going to be due for a requeening. Okay, we're going to let the foragers fly around. We need about half a cup of bees. Okay, we're just going to swish this around. A little battery failure there. I can already see some mites down here. And what we want to do is, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. So that's a pretty decent mite load. So obviously we're definitely going to treat this. So 7 to 8 mites in there. Yep. That could have been part of the problem, but like I said, this queen is not doing a very good job, so we're going to have to decide what we're going to do about that. So let's get our Apivar strips out. Easier said than done. just break them apart. Got a little tab here. And we're gonna go about 3 frames in. Stick it right there. Tilt the camera down so you can see that a little better. There we go. And then we're gonna go 3 frames over and put one in right here. And then this box is done. And do the same thing on the bottom. Okay, where'd our strip go? That's all there is to it. Well, you saw how easy that was. Just got to shake some bees. Make sure you don't get the queen. Get you about a half a cup, put them in here, swish them around. Then you're gonna look up and you're gonna count your mites. You can tell the difference between the debris and the mites, so it's not hard to do. In this case, we have what's considered, pretty heavy mite load. You really don't want more than 2 bees per 100. So we think we have 300 bees in here, and we've got 7 or 8 mites, so that's heavy. This particular hive would be one you would want to come back and check in, another month or so after you pull these to see if the mite load is down. But this particular hive has other problems, so it might be getting a new queen anyway. So that's how you do it. We're gonna get done on the rest of these here before it gets too hot, but it's that easy, and you really need to check your hives to make sure what your mite load is, and then do your treatment. So until next time, you guys be safe, and we hope to see you out in the bee yard. Adios.